Hi friends, welcome to a Northerner's Texas garden. My name is Rose and this is my Texas garden. I live in North Texas, Zone 8B, um, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've lived here for 7 years. I came from Ohio, hence the name Northerner's Texas Garden, and I moved to Texas in 2019. My garden is approximately 6 years old. I did not begin it until 2020. It is going on its seventh season this year. And I basically garden in raised beds because my soil here is very rocky and very clay. And it's very difficult to dig anything, to plant things. So I just go ahead and I did raised garden beds. So let's do my very first garden tour for 2026. And right in front here is my green beans. These are contender green beans. I planted them about 2 weeks ago. They came up about a week or so ago, and they're just starting to get their first true leaves coming out. I grow contender green beans because they're my favorite. I have been growing those for probably 10-15 years. They have great flavor. They are very prolific. They put out quite a few beans. These are bush beans, and I just enjoy them so much, so I always grow them in every garden that I have. Next to them are some loofah gourd starts that I started indoors, and I have a trellis here that they're going to be trained to go up and go around, and then in the summertime they'll give me my loofah gourd sponges. So I have 4 there, and then I have another trellis over there which we'll get to that also has loofah gourds. My next bed is calendula bed. I grow calendula for its flowers, and then I take the entire flower, and I dry it, and I put the dried flowers in olive oil or jojoba oil, and I use it for skin balms, and I also use it in my soaps that I make. It's very, very good for the skin. Calendula will help with all sorts of boo-boos, minor cuts, minor bug bites. It soothes and takes the itch right out of a bug bite. Small burns, eczema, and some people even use it on their baby's bum for diaper rash. And so I grow this every year. This is medicinal and decorative. I have both kinds of calendula here. I have not got any blooms yet. And then over here I have this 3-tier just pots, and I just started some calendula by seed about a week ago, and it's coming up, and those will be extras. And in the next pot I just planted today some zinnia seeds. And in the bottom pot I have I have a plane coming through. I live real close to the Air Force Base, and that's one of the big, big planes that take troops out and that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm not sure I'll keep that in there. The next bed or pot I have has flowers that I planted last year and they came back up. These are dianthus, which is also a carnation, and these are black and white dianthus. I've got one blooming here, and it's this real pretty deep, deep purple and white, and they're getting ready to bloom real good. And the next bed that I have here, well, we'll just go over here. These are my pots of carrots. I'm growing 5 pots. I have Danvers half neighbors have something or other. I have little fingers. I have purple, cosmic purple, and then I have the last one I have is cannot think of the name of it. It'll come to me, but I can't think of the name of it right now. And then this bed here is just strictly flowers. I have some flowers that are perennials, and then some flowers that I've started here that are annuals. I've got some iris that has not bloomed yet. My friend in Ohio sent those to me. And then this is a mum that I bought a couple years ago and had it in a pot, and it made it through the winter, so I just planted it in there. This will be its second year in the bed, and it's gone bonkers. It's huge. Next to it I have some red tall salvia. They have not started to bloom yet. And then some more iris and some more salvia here. And then I have over here some snapdragons. These I planted last year and they came back and they're blooming really nice. And then next to them I have some Shasta daisies. I started these Shasta daisies a year ago and they were just 4 little plants, and it's become this, and they're finally getting ready to bloom. They'll probably bloom in the next couple of days. Behind them, this plant here and this plant here are Mexican sunflowers. They get about 4 or 5 feet tall, and they have these beautiful orange-red flowers that the hummingbirds and the butterflies just love them. Behind them, I have some sunflowers coming up. I planted Autumn Beauty, and then some Lemon Queen, and then some Velvet Queen. So those are just coming up. And over here in the corner here, I have some hollyhocks. This one was from last year and it's getting ready to bloom. But these other ones I just started this year, and they probably won't bloom this year. But these will eventually go into a new bed that I just created. But for now they're going to be right here. And then over here is this is my chamomile patch. This is in a pot. It's in a fabric grow bag, which is a 2 by 4 foot grow bag, and I never seed this. It's been growing like this for 4 years. It dies back in the summertime, and then in the spring it comes back up. It's an annual, so it does not come back up like a perennial does, but it reseeds itself, and it seeds it easily. I go through here every day, and I pick off the flowers, and I dry the flowers for tea, and I also use them, put them in oil and do a infusion in oil, and I use them in salves and in soaps that I make. So let's go back around here and we'll hit this bed here. This is my blackberry bed, and they're blooming right now. I've got lots of flowers. I started this bed 4 years ago, I think it was, and we have some very small berries there, and I saw a berry the other day, if I can find it here. Here it is. There's a nice berry getting ready to go. I'm going to have to put bird netting on this. Ooh, that was a wasp. I don't want to get stung. I'm going to have to put bird netting on this so the birds won't get my berries. Probably in the next week or so I'll do that. And then back in here in the back, this is a combination herb bed and flower bed. I have rosemary that I bought last year, and it has tripled in size. And then I have oregano, and this is its second year, and it's gone bonkers. It's almost taken over half of the bed. And then behind here I just have some more snapdragons that I just put in here. They haven't bloomed yet, but they should. And next to that is my big asparagus bed. I've already picked off of it for the year, and now the fronds have grown up, and then they'll just be this way for the rest of the summer, and in the winter they'll die back. And then the next spring I'll have, they usually come by, you start picking here in Texas, asparagus, usually late February through all the way through March. And then by the end of March it peters out here. All right, my next bed here that I have is, these are pole beans that I have planted here. I cannot remember, I want to call them Seychelles, but I'm not positive. Pole beans. First time growing pole beans. I usually do bush beans, but I want to try those out. And so they're coming up, and then they'll go up this trellis here. Next to them, I have some purple green beans. These are bush green beans. These are called TP purple beans. I got them from Baker Creek seeds. First year trying those. And then behind there I have more loofah gourds that are planted, and they will go up this trellis and go over the other side. There will be gourds for me to take the sponges out, and then I sell the sponges in my Etsy shop. And behind there I have 2 bell peppers. Not sure what kind. Probably those are, I'm going to guess those are California Wonders. These were extras that I had. Let me see what this says. Yeah, no, it's a coral bell pepper. This is a coral bell. And they're extras, so I just planted them here because I didn't have any other space. Here we have mullein that I planted grown from seed this year. They will not flower until next year, but I planted those for medicinal purposes. Next year when they flower, I will take the flowers and I'll make medicine out of them. Haven't done that before either, so I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not sure how to do that, but I will figure it out. And then next bed here is cantaloupe in the back here. This is Charente, which is a French cantaloupe. And then some more loofah gourds. And I have some sunflowers here, some zinnias growing there, and some more zinnia growing here. And then these are poblano peppers. They're a little hot, but not too, they're mild hot. I don't like spicy peppers, but I have 4 plants here. And that is a Kellogg's breakfast tomato. I had an extra, so I just plopped it in there. And then beside that, in front of the bed, I have some flowers growing in these pots. This is called Victorian White Salvia. It's my first year growing it, and I've got some buds coming up here. I thought white salvia was an interesting thing to see. And then here we have some bachelor buttons. I've got a couple ready to bloom. I've got some buds there. I've got mixed and then blue. So those are my bachelor buttons. And we'll swing around here real quick here and look at these. These are my, I love salvia. Salvia is one of my favorite flowers. These are my Sirius Blue salvia. I started those from seed. And then I have more tall red salvia, which is getting ready to bloom. Right there. And let's go to the next. I think we'll go in the back here and take care of these, and then we'll take these last 2 big beds. In the back here I have a this is a 2 foot by 4 foot raised bed, and I have cosmos in here. I just scattered seeds. These right here, the bigger ones, I started in my house, and we've got some blooms getting some buds on there. And then the rest of them I just scattered the seeds, and they're coming up. I have 4 bags of potatoes. We have Yukon Yellow or Yukon Gold, and we have a purple. I don't remember the name of it, but it is a purple potato. And then I also have a russet, and I can't remember the name of that one either. But those are my potatoes, and they're doing really, really well this year. Just real nice. Next to them is my onions. First time growing onions. I've never grown onions before. but they're doing really, really well. I've got some bulbs coming up here. Here's a nice big one right there. But I'm excited because they're looking really good. I hope that wind is not too strong and that you can hear me okay. It's a windy day today. And then over here is my garlic. I started that, planted that last October, at the end of October. This will come out at the end of May. It'll be ready to harvest. And so that is my garlic. That is a soft neck variety. And then we're going to swing around here and do the last two beds, and we'll be done. This bed has cantaloupe right here. This is my favorite cantaloupe to grow. It's called Hearts of Gold, and they are about a 2 to 3 pound cantaloupe, and they're very juicy, very sweet, and they're my absolute favorite one to grow. Next to them, right here, and then over there, I have celery. First time growing celery. I've never grown it before. This is called tall Utah celery. And I know celery doesn't like the heat, so this is kind of an experiment to see how it works out. This bed gets sun in the morning, and then in the afternoon, around 2 or 3 o'clock, it's in shade. So I thought that would be a good place for the celery. I have some peppers here. These are all bell peppers, sweet peppers, different varieties. I have California Wonder. I also have a albino white and a coral orange, a purple variety, and I planted them and I couldn't tell you what's what. I do have tags for them, but I stuck them in the ground so that they would not. This one is a coral, another coral, so that I can read what they were. Once they start fruiting, I'll know what they are. But I've got some bell peppers here. My last bed is my tomato and more peppers. I love peppers. That's one of my favorite things to grow. And those are also California Wonder, purple, white, and yellow, and coral peppers there. And I'm growing tomatoes for the first time in a couple years. I don't normally grow tomatoes, mainly because I'm not a raw tomato fan. I like my tomatoes in sauce. But this year I'm going to try to can them if I get enough. I'm growing 2 different kinds. I'm growing a slicer, which is the Kellogg's Breakfast. It's a orange-yellow kind of tomato, which does not have as much acid in it. And I have acid reflux, so I prefer something like that. And then in the back here, along the back and around the corner, I am growing San Marzano paste tomatoes, which are one of the best paste tomatoes out there, and that's what I'm going to use to can. So these 3 are the Kellogg's Breakfast, and the rest are San Marzano. Okay, that is everything in my garden, and I hope you enjoyed my tour. I'm going to try to do these once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just to give a update on how they're growing. So please like and comment if you have any questions. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. This is a brand new channel. I just started it this winter, and I would like to grow it. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd appreciate it very, very much. Commenting and liking helps to push it out and tell the algorithm that it's worth seeing. So if you wouldn't mind just clicking that like button, and if you have any questions, give me a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.